What's up, guys? I hope the sound, the echo in this house does not interfere with the quality of the audio. I want you guys to hear me very clearly. So yesterday night, a video was released. A video was released by someone that I've known for a long time, a very long time. This person is the mother of my child. This person is someone who I spent 5 years with, and this is someone that I'm currently in back and forth battle. Clearly, you guys have seen that when it comes to the custody of our children. One thing before I start this video we need to understand is there is no winner in this. From the time I'm making this video right now to the end of this video, there is no winner. We have both lost. We've failed. We failed in being good parents. We've failed in being good role models. And we've failed in protecting our kids from all this social media. It's a whole debacle, it's a whole shambles. Right now, it's messy. I understand that. It's very messy. Unfortunately, this is what we have to deal with. Why? Because we chose this lifestyle. We put ourselves in the limelight, and when anything comes out, when it comes to social media, you need to provide those answers. Otherwise, your image is tarnished. It's very easy for people to pick a side. It's very easy for people to switch sides. But this video in itself is not addressed to the people of social media, because people of social media, they switch, they change religiously. There has been a list of things that were mentioned within that video that I'd like to address. I would really like to address, and of course today, since we've taken it there, receipts have to be removed, because this is dealing with someone's livelihood now. It could lead to affecting me providing for the people that I love, for my family, for my kids, for everyone that I care about. I'm not here looking for sympathy. I don't know why people think that. I don't talk about my kids. I'm a deadbeat dad. I talk about my kids. I'm looking for sympathy. I'm doing this for the men who've been in my DMs, for the women who've been in my DMs since the day I dropped Deadbeat Dad. Not necessarily supporting, but telling me what they've been through, telling me I can relate. I had 2 kids, the baby mama has done A, B, C, D, and I'm battling it out in court. This is for the person who comes to me and says, hey, I was a kid who went through a dysfunctional family, and this is the result of that. June 8th, 2019, I left this house. From June 8th all the way till July 12th, that's when the Deadbeat Dad video went down. I have never mentioned anything to do with Maureen Waititu. Never said her name, never mentioned her in any interview. I've done dozens of interviews. That's over a year. Reason being, I believed in the notion of it's me and her against the world. It's me and her against the world because we have these kids that we have to take care of. I've turned down certain interviews because I understand what the main topic would be. No one's going to come and start asking me about my business. People are going to come and start asking me about my relationship. The reason why I made that Deadbeat Dad video, again, if you watch the video, you will understand why I made that video. That video was out there because people had started changing the narrative about who I am. I went from this person who takes care of his kids to a deadbeat dad. There's a reason why they switched to that. Someone who is close to you doing an interview from time to time and putting out headlines, big topics on big pages. I try. This little innuendos, this little sly statements. For someone to say, I try, and everyone picks that and spice it up and say he's a deadbeat dad, I have to address it. I'm sorry, but I have to address it. And with that video, I've said it countless times, I've addressed the blogs. I never addressed Maureen. This video today though, I'm addressing Maureen. I have been through countless of encounters with my ex to a point where I thought it would never end. I have been through a lot that I can't even speak myself. I've been in situations which are very dangerous. And understand me when I say very dangerous. I've had to take myself out of those situations and just walk away. I'm here to point out exactly what's been happening throughout this period of why I can't see my children and why things have happened the way they've happened. I think we need to start this conversation from this house that you see me in right now. This house had some issues, mold to be exact. There was mold within the bedroom. When I was staying here, of course, we noticed that issue. We tried numerous times to fix that situation, but obviously the house upstairs has a crack on, I think it was the toilet side, I think. So it leaks into our house, and when it leaks into our house, it causes the walls to mold up. The fact that we're in a space where there's buildings around us, there's not too much direct sunlight, so the walls remain wet for a very long time, causing mold. And this has been an issue for the longest time. She addressed this to me, and she told me, hey, we're having this mold all over the place and we need to sort this out. It's a major issue, we need to sort it out. I told her, fine, I'll try look into it, yada yada yada. By that time I was just like too busy, I was moving around too much. So she asked me, she's like, hey, why haven't you looked into this matter? And I told her, look, you're the one who's living in that house. What I can do is I can give you the contacts to the person who can come and fix this situation, because you're the one who actually lives here. You can explain to them what the issue is and where it stems from and how they can fix it. She goes, fine, send me the number. I send her the number and she gives them a call, and that happened. So in my head, I know the house is getting fixed in terms of the mold. I ask her, how's the mold situation going? And she tells me, I'm renovating. I'm like, what? Okay, so you're gonna get painters and all that. She's like, yeah. We need to get paint that is mold resistant and all that. I was like, okay, cool. Just paint that section, yada yada yada, everything will be all right. During this period, I told her, mold is very harmful to kids, right? Especially when their respiratory system is developing. So I told her, during this period, you can send the kids over to me so I can have them for the whole duration of you fixing that situation. And she said, great, that sounds good. I waited 1 week, 2 weeks, nothing. I get sent a message by someone, and this was a screenshot of Maureen thanking her friend for taking care of the kids when she was renovating. And I was like, what? First of all, we had agreed I will take the kids for however long you need me to take them for as you're fixing the mold situation. Notice I keep saying the mold situation. She went out of the way, took the kids somewhere else, thanked this other person for taking care of the kids, and never included me in this agreement or arrangement. I was taken back. I'm like, come on, I should be the first person you communicate to. I calmed down about the whole situation. I come to the house because it was my day to come pick up the kids. So I've gone from seeing the kids 3 times a week, meaning I take the kids on Friday and I bring them back on Sunday. That was the arrangement that we had initially. This worked very well until when she fixed this house. So when I came to see the kids, I entered the house and I'm seeing everything changed. I'm like, why is everything changed? Why have you changed the whole house? The issue was mold. The issue wasn't the house. Everything was changed. Keep in mind, mind you, this is not my house. Everything has been changed. I played cool. I'm like, okay, that's fine. Let's move on. Where are the kids? She's like, okay, from now on, you'll be seeing the kids once. That's Sunday. And I asked her why, and she told me because the house, they need to get used to the new house. I don't know what that has anything to do with me seeing my kids 3 times a week. I don't know what that has to do with it, but I just know it got reduced from 3 times a week to once a week, Sunday. And it was Sunday from 10 a.m. all the way to 5 p.m. I agreed again. I said, okay, fine, cool. I don't want to argue. One of the things you realize about me, I do not like arguing. I don't like confrontation. I don't like back and forth. Once I had these kids once a week, we went through a whole period of changes, inconsistency, unplanned moves, things that did not make sense. I come one weekend, I'm here to pick up the kids. Lexia slept over at a friend's house. He's not here. I come another weekend, we've traveled. I come another Sunday, we're not around. Come a different Sunday, you have to stay here with the kids doing A, B, C, D. And I'm like, why are you controlling my time with my children? I come in, I take the kids, I go with them. Our arrangement was 10 to 5. At 5:05, 5:10, 5:05, 5:10, getting a phone call from her, where are my kids? I'm being treated like a nanny with my own children. Actually, not like a nanny. And you know why not like a nanny? because I've had a situation, I've had countless situations with this nanny issue. For the longest time, I've been paying for the nanny. I've always been paying for the nanny. And when we first got our nanny, I used to pay the nanny directly. But after a couple of months, it changed. She told me that, hey, send me the cash for the nanny. I'll top up a little bit because she helps a lot, and then I'll be able to give her the full amount. I never thought anything of it until a certain day where I asked the nanny to do something for me. I was traveling with my family, going to their house for my niece's birthday. And they were like, hey, get the boys together, they can come through. This is 5 p.m. I give the nanny a call because Marina told me communicate everything with the nanny. I give a nanny a call and I tell the nanny, hey, I'll make sure Lexi is fed, Kaya is fed, dress them up. You guys are gonna come to this location. I'll put you in a taxi and you guys are gonna come to this location. And to my shock, she goes, no. I was taken back. I'm like, what? What do you mean no? I said, excuse me? She said, no. I hang up the phone immediately. I call Maureen and I'm like, hey, you need to have a word with such and such before I blow a gasket. And Maureen goes, oh my God, whoa, I didn't know that's what's happened. Let me sort it out. I was like, okay. She's seen sense. Boom. 2 minutes later, Maureen gives me a call and says, you know, she's actually right. It's a bit late and blah, 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 blah. And tomorrow she has to travel in the morning, yada, 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 and all these things. And the whole time I'm just listening like, is she just agreeing with the nanny that I have come up with an idea that doesn't work at all? If she has to travel, that's fine. Bring the kids, drop them off, you take a taxi, go back, get ready, prepare your stuff, leave in the morning. I will bring the kids later in the evening. Why is that such a big deal? Why make me look like I don't have authority? And then the last thing that she says is, oh, and yes, by the way, don't hang up on her. That was very rude. I'm thinking, wait, I'm calling you for you to sort out a situation before it gets nasty, because I know, of course, if I was to have a conversation with her and tell her, why are you telling me no? I'm the one who's paying your bills. And if I tell you put the kids in the car, we're going, you put the kids in the car, we're going. Don't tell me no. That is unheard of. I pay your salary. If your boss comes to you and tells you, hey, draft this letter, and you tell them no, he'll look at you like, okay, pack your things then, leave. So why is it any different? Why is it any different right now? That day I was shocked, and it made me realize why she has always been asking for the money for her to send to the nanny. These nannies feel like you don't pay for anything, so I don't owe you anything. That's the mindset that they have, because that is what they've been manipulated to thinking. Now, let's get back to this house. So the house is fixed. I've gone from seeing my kids 3 times a week to seeing my kids once a week. I'm seeing these kids once a week, and each and every week there's a different reason as to why I can't see them. I never complained about it, not once. Fast forward to the time where I came to this house, I knocked on the door, no one was answering. I rang the bell. Mind you, I'm 15 minutes late. I rang the bell. She comes outside. So she opens the door, sorry. I'm about to enter. She closes the door behind her. And I'm thinking, wait a minute. I can't enter the house. She closes the door behind her. She's like, you're gonna wake Kai. So what do you want me to do? I'm here to collect Kai and Lexi. She said, no, he's sleeping. I look at her and I'm like, Maureen, am I going to see my kids or am I not going to see my kids? And she goes, no, you're not going to see your kids. I turn and I walk because I do not want no confrontation. I don't want none of that. Things can get messy quick. Trust me, things can get messy quick. I do not want none of that. As I'm walking away, she runs past me with her keys and everything, jumps into her car, drives in front of my car. So my car is here, her car is here. She drives in front of my car and parks. So I can't leave. At this point, I'm trapped in the car. I close the doors, close the windows. She goes all the way to the back, picks up a phone and starts making phone calls. I've told you I've been in situations that have gotten dangerous. At this point, I'm fearing for something bad is about to happen. And I'm begging her, I'm telling her, Maureen, please move your car. I need to leave. She doesn't respond to any of that. She's just causing a fit. Oh, you want to leave now, blah, blah, blah. You want to go to your house, you want to go to this. The insults that I've heard about Corazon is endless. Endless. Insults, insults, insults. And I just sit in the car. I called Corazon and I was like, hey, it's getting ugly out here. Just be on standby. She's crying on the phone and everything. I'm just telling her, no, don't worry about it. Everything will be okay. 10 minutes later, she comes to the window, knocks. You can go see the kids now. What do you mean you can go see the kids now? I've wanted to see them since the time I arrived here, why are you now switching your mind and saying you can go to see the kids now? First thing I said was, no, move your car, I need to leave. Move your car, I need to leave. She moves the car, I leave. And at this point, that was the last time I saw those two boys. Last time. Maybe not the last time. I saw Kai a few weeks later actually, but that was the last time I actually had them for more than an hour. So when that happened, I decided, okay, right now I need to take a step back and I need to reevaluate everything. Things are going to be different now. We're going to hold everything until we come up with this structure that you're talking about. The reason why I did that was because I just realized everything was being taken for granted. I can't be provided and doing all these things and not being able to see my kids. Anyone in their right mind would not be doing all these things and not being allowed to see their children. That is mental torture. And for the longest time, the communication went dead. And I remember I was at a shoot. I'm doing a shoot and she sends me a text message at 5 p.m. I remember I posted a video of Kai and I said everything will be well. At this time I didn't know Kai was in hospital. I didn't know at all. I was actually saying everything will be well, meaning that I will come for you. Don't worry. I will come for you. I will come for you. One day I will have you. You and your brother. I will have you. That's what I was saying. All will be well. Like one day things will be well. Maybe not now, but one day things will be well. And in the evening now, when I'm finishing up my shoot, she sends me a message saying, hey, Kai's in hospital. He has a severe stomach bug and he was admitted last night. And I'm like, why did you not tell me this? I am the father of these kids. Whatever happens, as you are driving to the hospital, tell me, hey, I'm on my way to the hospital, Kai's looking bad. Why wait until the next day evening for you to now come and tell me, hey, by the way, Kai's in hospital? I'm like, what the hell? These are things you should be telling me minute one. You should be telling me this and this is happening. Let's go. I'm going here. I need you to see you there at this time. Or even you don't even need to tell me you need to see me. Just mention I'm going to this location. I'll be there. And I even told her, why didn't you just not tell me? Anyway, I said, aside from that, where are you? She tells me where they are. As soon as I finish my shoot, jump into the car, drive straight there. This is like 8 p.m., almost 9 p.m., curfew time. At that time, 9 was curfew. Drove, got there, I entered. Mind you, I have nothing to say to Marie. I have nothing to say to her. So when I enter there, I'm not gonna start talking, having a conversation with her. She's told me what I needed to know about my children. I'm waiting for the doctor to come so I can ask the doctor what's going on, what's the situation, A, B, C, D. She's just there looking at me. She's like, oh, you don't want to find out what's happening? I'm like, if you want to tell me. But I'm waiting for the doctor to come and tell me what's going on. Because you and I, when we start talking, it's always going to lead into a fight. Anyway, she explains to me what exactly happens, and I start walking around with Kai. We do our thing, play, whatever. And when that happened, I felt different because now I'm seeing Kai and I feel like I'm seeing him for the first time. Everything is different. Like I'm just looking at him, he's just like talking, he can go to the toilet. And I'm like, why am I missing all these things because of a simple arrangement? Something that we've had a discussion before. Why am I missing out on all this? I should be able to know these things and see these things as they unfold. I finish up at around midnight. I'm like, okay, I'm heading out. Let me know tomorrow. Please let me know what the doctor says, and also let me know what time you're exiting. And she tells me, okay. And as I'm leaving, she says, oh, by the way, don't worry about the bill. I got it covered. I said, okay. I walk out. And when I left the next day, she didn't talk to me. 12, I messaged, how's the boy? Have you guys been discharged? She doesn't talk to me. 5 p.m, she says we've been discharged. That's it. Doesn't say anything about we're still in the hospital or whatever. She just says we've been discharged. I'm like, okay, that means you've gone home. We leave that story there. A few days later, I send her a message. Hey, I'd like to see Lexi on his birthday. This is 6th of October. Lexi's birthday is 20th of October. Ample time. No reply. 3 days later, I sent a message. Please, I need an answer to this question. No reply. And that's why I decided, okay, if that's the case, I'm going to talk to my son the only way I know how. When I made that video and that post about me and my son, I was not addressing anyone. I was talking to my son directly. That was a message to Lexi. It was a message to him telling him that when he is old enough to have his own Instagram page, when he is old enough to read these things and understand how things work, he will look at it. It's a time capsule. He will look at it and he will know. Papa was there for me. He was there for me. He was trying at that moment. Yes, things weren't pretty, but he was trying at that moment to reach out to me, and he's giving me something to hold on to. This is something that I can hold on to. This is something that lets me know that he is there for me and he loves me. I wasn't addressing Rain, I wasn't addressing no blogs, because no blog said anything about me. I wasn't addressing anyone. The whole thing was taken out of context when people started saying, oh, why are you talking about access? Why are you talking about access? It's true, I don't have access to you, so I'm gonna leave these words for you. So when that time comes, you will be able to see A, B, C, D. This has been an issue that I've been battling for the last couple of months. It's been a year, 4 months since everything happened between me and her, and I still battle it. And I know I'm still gonna be battling it until those boys are grown up, because this is something that I'm stuck with for the rest of my life. And I understand that, I have no worries about that. But trying to paint me as this type of person is not gonna fly with me. It's not gonna fly at all. From the time we broke up till slowly by slowly, she was finding out about, me moving on and all that. What can I say about that? There is literally no timeline to how fast a person is supposed to heal. There is no timeline that you should say, I need to wait this duration for this to happen. What I tried to do my best was, I understood that I found something. I stumbled into something that was so beautiful that I did not understand if it's real or not. I was like, how? I've just come from a gut-wrenching, heartbroken relationship, and I've just stumbled into something that relates with me so well to a point where I just can't let go of it. That's what people do. You break up, you go look for someone, and you have fun. And that's what we did. For 3-4 months, we were just having fun. We were traveling, we were doing this, we were doing that. And for the longest time, I tried to keep it out of the limelight. People came and started taking photos of us and showing, hey, I've seen them here, I've seen them here, I've seen them there. Long story short, that in itself created that resentment. I don't know if she thought that we were gonna get back together one day or whatever, but for me, I was done. That was like, it was over for me. It was over. And what made me realize that is because I started realizing I am staying in this toxic environment, right? We are both in a toxic environment because of the children, and that's not right. You can't be unhappy because of the children. It's gonna start leaking into the children. The children are gonna start seeing these things. You're better off being separated and taking care of them, from different sides. And that's what happens in a lot of relationships. We're not back in the day where you have to force things. You don't have to force it. No one was married. She was my girlfriend. I didn't have to stick with her so I can fight it out for these kids. No, I wanted to be a good dad. Yes, maybe I wasn't the best partner, but I was a good dad to those kids. And I still am a good dad to those boys. For the longest time, she's been talking about structure. What structure? We had a structure before. She's the one who keeps changing the structure. There's no structure we can talk about when we already had structure. 3 times a week I'm taking these kids. I'm paying for school fees. She lives in my mother's house. I'm paying for upkeep. I'm paying for hospital bills. I'm paying for the nanny. That was the structure. This house was never mine to begin with. So for her to say I kicked her out is falsified information. We were given this house when we got together. We went our separate ways. The house is here. The house has to be returned to the rightful owner. No one was kicked out. The house was returned to the rightful owner. The house should be returned to the rightful owner. It shouldn't be a thing where, okay, now that you've had, children with my son, here's a house, live in it. No, I move out, you move out. We can now discuss on the current house that you're living and say, okay, this is how much I'm paying rent, how much can you help me with? And I say, okay, cool, this is the amount that I can afford, let's do it. I have no issues with that because my children are going to be living there. For someone to say I kicked them out of a house that doesn't belong to me, unheard unheard of. It's ridiculous. Secondly, I'm supposed to come have a look at the house and see what condition you've left it. Why am I coming to have a look at the house and see what condition you've left it? You were never a tenant. There was no signed agreement that said if the house is left in a rubble, there's a deposit which we're going to take. No, there was no deposit to put in. So even if you left this house in a trash condition, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because there was no arrangement between the owner of the house and you. There was no arrangement for that. So there's no need for me to come and have a look at the house and inspect it and do all these things. No, hand over the kids, hand over the keys, and we move on from there. Why am I even meeting with someone that I don't know? He's insisting in, hey, you need to come to this house, you need to come to this. I don't know what this person's agenda is. I really don't know. Again, this stems back to I've been in dangerous situations. Then now you're going and telling everyone, I didn't even bother to find out where you left. I didn't even know that you left. So how am I going to start asking you, where did you go, when I don't know that you've gone? How am I supposed to ask that? I sent you a message about Lexi. You should have told me at that moment, hey, we've moved to such and such. You can pick him up on this day. I'm reaching out to you. You don't talk to me, and then now you're saying we moved out. You didn't find out where we moved out to. How am I supposed to now know that you moved out? It's only common sense. You're the one with that information. Relay it to me. My children are involved in it. Relay that information to me. They have moved to a certain place that I don't know about. I don't know where they are. I don't know what they're doing right now. Relay that information to me. And this whole lawyer situation started up when she found out that we were pregnant. Why? For some strange reason, she thought that I'm going to abandon it. I'm not going to abandon it. And I even wrote her a message telling her exactly that. I told her I will never abandon you and the kid. Because at the end of the day, we will always be attached. My main aim is to take care of my children, not to take care of Maureen, my teacher. I do not use my kids as social media clout. Matter of fact, if you look at my page, majority of the content that I take with my children are very raw and authentic. Maybe we're having ice cream. Maybe we're sitting down in the car. We're playing in the living room. I don't dress these boys up and take them for photo shoots, make them look like these little dolls that everyone should look and laugh and be happy about. I don't do that. I don't create a circus around it. I just shoot genuine shots. These are things that it's my diary. My Instagram is actually my diary. I post these things up and I look at it when I don't have a chance to see my kids. I go to my Instagram and I just scroll and I look at these videos and I look at these things. They make me laugh. They make me happy. That's what I do. I create moments with them. Reason being, there was a time Lexi came up to me and he told me, I was recording him, or I was telling him to pose for a certain pose, and he's like, Papa, I don't like pictures. And I realized we're actually doing something to the child that they don't want to be done to them. For him to come and tell me, Papa, I don't like pictures, shows that he actually has a mind of his own. He's not for us to control and say, no, you don't like pictures, I'm still gonna post you. And I remember even there was a person who had asked me on Instagram, why don't you post Lexi all the time? And I told him, Lexi doesn't like pictures. If you look at majority of the posts, the ones that he's done with Maureen and all that, he's grumpy, he's like moody, he's this, he's that, he's just sitting in the corner. I have countless of pictures where he's just like grumpy, and I don't force it on him. These are things that I do for my children. I deal with them the way I deal. You cannot try and control me into what I do with my children. Once I've taken the boys from you, let's say it's a weekend and I've taken the boys from what I do with them, that's up to me. Don't tell me this weekend you're staying in the house with them, next weekend we're traveling, the other weekend after that, no, you can only take them to this location. Tell me exactly where you're going. Do this, do that, do this. To a point where I'm getting told by our God, where I live right now, our God is telling me, hey, I know this is not for me to talk about, but I have been paid to tell such and such information about who comes into this house. Do you know how crazy that is? My own God, my own watchman has been selling information to someone, selling that information to that someone. The nanny comes to my house and they collect information and they take it back to her. And when I drop off the kids and I leave, I'm getting phone calls from Maureen and she's like, hey, so you didn't do this, you didn't do that, or the house is a mess, so next time the kids are not coming. And I'm like, what? Why are you controlling everything that I'm trying to do with these children? I am not a house help, I am not a nanny, I'm not a daycare center, I am the father of these children. There is nothing that I will do to harm these kids, nothing at all. People keep telling me, let her heal, let her heal. I am letting her heal, but let me have my children. How about me? How about you let me have my children as you heal? Actually, matter of fact, I'll even raise you better. I'll raise you one better. Give me those kids for however long you want to give me those kids. You go heal. You go heal. For however long you need to heal, go heal. I will take care of the boys. I will take care of the boys. You go heal. But it can't be where a year, 4 months down the line and we're still having this conversation about what you're doing, where you're going, who you're with, all these other things. I have moved on with my life. I'm in a happier situation right now. Things are in a better place for me right now. Let's just move on. Let's just move on. This is not a joke. This is not a game. We're not here playing games. I'm not here exposing anyone. I'm here speaking my truth because it's ridiculous how people listen to one thing and don't even understand the whole concept. They don't understand what's happening. They don't understand what I'm going through. I am done with it. I am completely done with it. All I'm asking for is my children. I want my children to meet their brother. I want my boys to meet their brother. I want them to be able to know each other. I want them to be able to grow up together. They go to the same school. I want all this to happen. Like, I do not care about Maureen. I care about the kids. That's what I care about. And if she needs to heal, she'll heal. But just allow me to take care of my children. That's all I'm asking for. What's so hard about that? I should be happy right now. I should be like, oh yes, now I'm free. I can do whatever I want. But that's not what I want. That's not what I want. I'm fighting for my kids. I want my kids. People out there saying, oh, you're not fighting hard enough. You don't know the whole concept of this. And then for a situation where social media has taken a snippet of what I've said, now it's like, oh, enough is enough. Beat my chest. Okay, enough is enough. But for me, enough has always been enough. I just never mentioned it until today. That's when I'm like, really, enough is enough. Sometimes you have to stand your ground. You have to speak on matters that are the truth. I tell you anything about the kids, you flip it. Talking about us, you and I, you and I, you and this. And I tell you, look, all I care about is the kids. And now you bring in the kids with that whole story. Oh yes, you're abandoning me and my children. You're abandoning me and... I'm not abandoning anyone. Maureen, we went our separate ways, you and I. Please, you understand this and you know this. But me and the kids, we didn't go our separate ways. Those are two different things. The child and the parents, two different things. If I'm not with you, it doesn't mean I'm not with them. People are coming into my DMs and telling me, hey, don't worry, you have Tayari now. What? Kwani is like a car. Like, oh, now I bought a new car, I don't need this old car. No, I want my kids. I want each and every, if I had 10 kids, I'd want all my 10 kids to know who their father is, and I would take care of all the 10 kids. I have 3 boys. I want to take care of 3 boys. I don't want to take care of 1 boy. I don't want to take care of only 2 boys. I want to take care of 3 boys. That's what I want to do. And it's not so hard to understand that. I am literally sick and tired of fighting over 2 beautiful boys that do not deserve this. At the start of this video, I said, no one is a winner. We have all lost. We've lost. We've failed the boys. We've failed people who look up to us. Because in order for us to move on, this has to happen. This, what's happening right now, has to happen. And that's the sad part. It's the sad part. Because things can go way better than what is happening right now. But just because of certain situations, it doesn't. And that just breaks my heart.